So Fantasy Fair, right next to Sleeping Beauty's castle, Disneyland's own expansion for Fantasyland. As you can see, we're right next to it, and we tried to pick up some of the architecture of the castle to blend this area that formerly was known as Carnation Plaza Gardens into Fantasyland and make it one homogeneous land when it's finished. The princesses will find their new home here at Fantasy Fair, and we have a great attraction right behind us, behind these buildings, called the Royal Hall. We'll go in that attraction later, and you can see all the beautiful architecture that is being worked on right now. The main entrance is in construction right now. It's that building that still has a lot of plywood on it, and the covered queue area is behind it. When people enter our attraction, they will first go to a little garden here outside, and they can enjoy the views on the castle and the views on the creek, and then ramp up towards the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, and then go inside, ramp down before they are going into the Royal Hall attraction. Behind me is our main facade, and there's a couple of nice details in it that I want to point out. One of the details that I'm really excited about is Clopin's music box. It's a little interactive that guests can play with, and it's right there underneath that little slim facade with the shutter that's closed. And when it's all finished, you will see a very colorful Gothic little structure, and it has beautiful gold finials and painting, and a nice little window and a crank in the bottom of that structure. And as soon as you turn that crank, you can set a little scene that's inside of it, made out of painted flats into motion. So Clopin, which will be the main character scene in that little structure, will start to dance, and the audience around him will start to dance as well. And every now and then the hunchback will peek out of the Notre Dame and kind of see what's going on the square in front of it. And the sun will go under and the moon will go up. So I think that will be really a charming little detail that people can play with and discover when they are walking into this new area at Disneyland. Right next to that is a beautiful facade, and it has a frame that you can kind of see the outline right now already. And that frame is will have a beautiful poster in it that is not so much a poster as we know a lot of posters from Disneyland and other Disney theme parks, like a ride poster. It's more a poster in theme of the land. So if you imagine that you were living in this medieval town and the fair is coming to this town, then that poster is kind of an advertisement for that. In front of it, here in the middle of the square, is will be placed a sculpted version of Rapunzel's tower. That, of course, is used in the movie Tangled. And again, it's not going to be an actual representation of her tower. She is not living there, but somebody got inspired and made a sandstone sculpture of her tower, our iconic tower. But, you know, Disneyland wouldn't be Disneyland if there's something magical going on. So a stone version of Rapunzel, is peeking out of the window, and her hair is like an architectural ornament swirling around the column. But at night, you will actually see that there is some magic in her hair. So you will hear Anna Menken's melody that you hear when Mother Gothel touches the hair, and then little sparkle lights will twist around the column, and then every now and then they will disappear again and appear again. So again, I think also a very neat little detail, and it's right in the middle of our square. When you come over this bridge where you guys are sitting on, which is our main entry bridge for the Fantasy Fair area, it will be right in the middle, greeting our guests when they come in. Going on, the tower behind it, I always call it the Troubadour Tower, a main architectural feature in the land, a kind of iconic shape. It will have a beautiful finial on top of it, a staircase to a balcony. If you guys went to the Blue Sky Cellar, you see in one of the cases a carved out of wood, supposedly owl, that will be a newer post on that spiral staircase. And a lot of people ask me, like, what is the owl representing? But to me, that balcony was always used to do announcements to the townspeople that are very wise announcements, important announcements for the townspeople. So the owl is, for ages already in the Western world, symbolic for wisdom. So I thought it would be neat to put an owl in there. And actually, if you look at our movies like Sleeping Beauty and Bambi, and there's some more examples, owls are always in there, kind of as a wise character. Going on, moving to the left, we'll see the existing pass-through to the El Zocalo restaurant and Frontierland. We extended it a little bit so that when people come out of the meet and greet attraction, they are not outside, they are kind of in a covered area, and they can walk into our beautiful shop called Fairy Tale Treasures, which is the building with the blue roof on the left. A very charming little shop. When you go through the meet and greet, you will be able to kind of peek inside. Beautiful carved wood cabinetry, chandeliers, painting on the walls. So I think that will be a really nice new shopping opportunity here at Disneyland. Before I go to the Royal Theatre Pavilion, first I will point out our food cart, Maurice's Treats. That's right next here to the bridge. Maurice came to the fair and he came up with all these little food inventions and thought that the fair would be a very appropriate celebration to present his food inventions there. So he parked his little wagon here and you're now able to try out what he came up with. And then last but not least is the Royal Theatre. That's of course the existing original pavilion that was here for a long, long time. The structure will remain the same, as you can see, but we will redress it to tie it into the Fantasyland theme. We added two big entry portals that are the marquees to the entrances of this venue. And there will be a beautiful Gothic proscenium built to give the very nice shows that Chris Utley will talk about in just a few seconds. And new Disney characters, a great stage, a great home here at Disneyland.